Hello, Chris Cantalmo here with a daily vibration. This one is in response to a inquiry from some person at Reddit who wanted to know things about me that they don't already know, as if I haven't made my life completely blank. Sort of laid out in its entirety at Reddit, but let's see what happens here. So there were three questions. The first of which is, what was the lowest point in my childhood? And perhaps he said I might segue into the lowest point in my adulthood. Lowest point in my childhood, there are a couple of things I remember about childhood that left an impression on me. Okay, one of them was I was in Sunday school, and I didn't like Sunday school. And we were in a circle, little kids sitting around in a circle. And I was fidgeting and fiddling while we were talking about some doofus religious thing. And I was playing with my shoelaces, and I got my finger stuck in my shoelaces, tied up in my shoelaces. I couldn't get my finger out. And we were going around the circle, like answering silly questions about what we had just read in the Bible or whatever it was. Some little workbook. And as this attention is getting towards me, I realize I'm like, got my finger down, it's stuck in my shoe, and I can't get it out. And so the teacher then looks at Chris, and I panic because I think I'm an idiot. Like all these kids are gonna make fun of me because my finger's tied up in my shoelace. And then I said, my finger's stuck. And all the kids laughed at me. And it was very humiliating, even though it really shouldn't be, it's kind of a funny situation. So obviously that stuck in my head, it left an impression. And it might be one of the reasons I was extremely shy my entire young adult life and long into my adult life. I had a lot of difficulty doing public speaking and things like that. I also remember the first time I became aware of death. A friend of my father was over, and he used to come over with his wife. And then one day he came over alone. And it was like, well, where is she? Well, she's dead. What's that mean? And that was very odd and very, very sort of profoundly destabilizing. Never quite got over that whole death thing. Lowest point in adulthood, this is pretty easy. So when I started really getting into DMT, and at one point everything just clicked. I said, okay, I see this, I get this. And one of the most profound eureka moments, it's gonna turn out, in the history of mankind. And then I got in touch with all my old friends, people I hadn't spoken to in years, people who I had falling outs with or not, and my family. I said, you will not believe what happens when you inhale DMT or you do a good dose of ayahuasca. You will not believe what happens. You can see spirits, and they are not hallucinations or illusions. And when I started to explain this to people, they thought this guy's crazy. He's having a psychotic break. He's got delusions of grandeur. This is all part of a mental breakdown, and you just have to ignore him, and he'll eventually hit rock bottom. Yeah, I'm not gonna hit rock bottom. I'm more sane than you are. But because that's what my quote unquote educated friends and family think, I no longer speak with my family and friends. So that would be the lowest point, but I'll get over that. And the really sad thing is that when this gets resolved, and it turns out that everything I'm saying is true, those very small, silly people are gonna they'll probably make up excuses. Oh, well, Chris he was verbally abusive. Yeah, I became verbally abusive at times to people after they kept telling me to stop what I'm doing, that I'm crazy, that I'm stupid. What I'm saying isn't true. It's what happens when schizophrenics. When I discovered that DMT is the natural neurotransmitter that's in our heads when we're kids, when we go through puberty, the DMT production gets turned off in normal people. In schizophrenics, it doesn't get turned off. So in a group of kids, one of them is schizophrenic, the others go through puberty, they stop seeing the spirits and things in the world. And when you stop seeing them, it's very easy to forget that you ever did see them. And the one kid in the group who's, for whatever reason, his pineal gland continues to pump out DMT, he continues to see things and doesn't realize that now his peers can't see those same spirits and things in the real world. And he's still interacting with them. And suddenly he's the crazy one. But he's not crazy. And what happens is people tell him, oh, you're imagining that, you're crazy, you're fucked up. And it creates a very disgusting interaction between normal people and schizophrenics. Anyway, so anyway, I understand like the position that schizophrenics are in, because they're being told what they know to be true is false. And my family and friends are telling me that what I know to be true is false. But I have more information than them. And you, if you haven't done DMT. Anyone out there who has not done DMT, shut the fuck up about DMT and what it does. Oh, it just, if you do DMT, it just increases the amount of serotonin in your brain. No, it doesn't. It has nothing to do with serotonin. DMT literally has nothing to do with serotonin. There are receptors in your brain for DMT, and there are receptors for serotonin. They're different. Anyway, where were we? Next question. Spreading love at Reddit through gilding. Let me go out of my way to say the administrators at Reddit are disgusting, evil, slime, leech, fuckfaces. I spent a lot of money there and was only ever kind and nice to people and wrote amazing posts. When I go back to see my original posts, they're just beautifully written and just incredibly insightful. Just some of the best writing ever in the history of man. And then people who couldn't fathom what I was saying came out and started to attack me, and then things got vicious and I got blamed. So anyway, is spreading love through gilding at Reddit a good thing in and of itself because it makes people feel appreciated? Of course it is. Of course, that was the incredible thing that struck me when I started to gild people at Reddit, basically just in order to get their attention. Let me step back a second. When I had all these incredible discoveries and insights about DMT and how it plays into the human condition, the message was, hey Chris, this is the message from God, by the way, and the spirits. Hey Chris, looks like you're in a unique position because you're a brilliant scientist, Yale-educated biochemist, spent 35 years as one of the top scientists in the field of HPLC for the pharmaceutical and biotech industries. Hey Chris, you know all about the biochemistry of this, and you can connect it to the spirit world, spirituality. You, Chris Cantelmo, can unite science and spirituality as no one in the history of the world has done before. So once I got the message, hey, Chris, unfortunately, this big job is on you, don't fuck it up, I had to go out and find out how to get this message across to people. It is extremely difficult. But I realized that these folks on Reddit would go bonkers for an award. I gave someone a silver award and they're like, oh my God, you made my day. And I gave away thousands of awards. And almost every award, people came out and said, you just made my day. That was the nicest thing. I didn't expect that. Thank you, you made my day. And it made me realize how unappreciated people are in their daily lives. So if you go out of your way to tell people that, you know what, I appreciate you and I see what you did there and thank you, and you know what, I like it when you do that and it makes me feel good, or hey, maybe if you don't do that but you do this, it'll be better for both of us. So I learned about just communicating simple truths and things about our relationship with other people. Basically, about the nicest thing you can do for someone is tell them you feel appreciated. And you know, the thousands of people who I count as my fans, in addition to that fan up there. You see that fan? That's one of my fans. But the human fans out there, it's nice when they say, hey, I appreciate you. You know, a lot of them say, I don't know that what you're saying is true or is going to be borne out by science and whatever. But I like the fact that you're putting your money where your mouth is, putting your time and effort where your mouth is, that you're living your convictions. People, strangers coming out of nowhere and telling me that, yeah, I really appreciate it. So when I was gilding people left and right and making them feel good, it was great. It was a great thing. They felt good. I felt good. It was wonderful. Not going to happen anymore because Reddit sucks. Okay, number 3, pet peeves. What are my pet peeves? The first pet peeve is stupid questions. What do I mean? What's a stupid question? There's this whole notion, there's no such thing as a stupid question. Bullshit. Most questions are incredibly stupid because all they do is reveal the ignorance, or I should say they reveal the laziness of the questioner. Now that Google exists and the internet exists, if you have a question about anything, you should Google it first and see what's out there. But then if you don't, if you're talking to someone, you have a question for them, you ask them the question. But then listen to the answer. Don't ask the same question over and over. At Reddit, it would be amazing. From a single original post in the comment section, people would ask me the same question 6 times in a row. What is it that people have this notion that if they join a conversation, it's up to everyone else to bring them up to speed. It's like, no, do your homework. Add to the conversation. Don't detract from people get to a certain point in life, and don't keep bringing people who are leading you in front. Leaders don't like to be pulled backwards. Don't ask stupid questions. Do your homework. Contribute to a conversation. The other thing is, and to continue that, give people a reason to take interest in you. When you get into an interaction with someone, don't make it like pulling teeth. I recently started checking out Tinder. Oh my God, what a disaster. Women who, for a woman to find a guy is like falling off a log, unless she's really a terrible, a very hard, terrible looking woman, like a really ugly woman. Even, average looking woman can get a date easily. So what happens is women, they don't have the ability to communicate. So the conversations are so pathetic. Hi, where are you from? When I introduce myself, I say where I'm from, how old I am, how many kids I have, I'm married or divorced. Nice little paragraph. It's all laid out there. And I'll lay all that out there, and then the woman will come back with, are you married? It's like, well, I just said I'm divorced. How are you today? I'm great. Just like pulling teeth. Don't, give people, go out of your way to let people know why you're interesting, because everyone is interesting. But you gotta put it out there. So that's a pet peeve. Here's something else. People who don't take the advice that they give. Let me give you an example. The people who come to me at Reddit, I'm the original discoverer of an idea, the original proponent of an idea. And people come and say, well, how come no one else is saying this? Well, that's because no one else is saying it. That's how it works. Well, you need more, you need your backup to what you're saying. But so do you. Anyone who criticizes me saying that what I'm saying is wrong, you now need evidence that what I'm saying is wrong. I'm making a positive statement of fact. So if you want to now bring me back, you person, you got to take the advice that you give. Be smart. Come up with an intelligent critique of the situation. There might be a logical reason why what I say isn't true. You're not going to find it because there's no faults in my logic. There could be a scientific reason why. There isn't, because I'm right. Don't be a lazy schmuck. You want to criticize me? You want to take on my ideas? Do your homework. Take the advice you give. All right, guys. Chris Cantelmo here with another vibration. I love you.